Hello, everybody. All right, I am going to go through the lesson one expected worksheet pages for this fourth week of distance learning. What we're going to be going over is we are going to be going over plane shapes. A plane is a flat surface that has length and width but no thickness, meaning it is not thick, it is just flat. Just like a piece of paper is flat. A plane shape is a two-dimensional shape that lies in a plane. And a plane is like a surface, like below. These are plane shapes that you are already familiar with. You are already familiar with circles, triangles, squares, and rectangles. Some of you might be familiar with these already, but a lot of you might not be. And these are some new plane shapes that we're going to take a look at. Right here we have a trapezoid. A trapezoid has four sides. We can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. And then another new shape is hexagon. And say that with me, hexagon. A hexagon has 6 sides. Can count those as well. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides. Those are two new plane shapes we'll be working with. If we go down a little farther, we've got a couple more new ones to get used to. These are quadrilaterals. Say that with me. That is a big word we have to chunk sometimes, right? Quadrilaterals. A quadrilateral has 4 sides. A rectangle and a square are also quadrilaterals. Those are types of quadrilaterals. They both have 4 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4. Same over here. All right, and then lastly, another new shape is a pentagon. Pentagon. There you go. All right. Pentagon is a shape that has a plane shape that has 5 sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, that is introducing us to familiar shapes and maybe some new shapes for some people. All right, if we take a look at this guided learning on the next page, number 1 says, look at the picture. It's made of many shapes. Very true. Take a look right now around your house. Look at all the shapes that are in front of you and that are around you. I'm sure you can see lots of them. Right now I'm looking at a picture frame on my wall and it is a rectangle. All right. Below it shows us a chart. On one side it says plane shapes. On the other it says how many. It wants us to fill it in. Below, she's also reminding us that a square is a special kind of rectangle. All right, let's take a look at that picture. And first we're going to look at triangles. Look at our picture. See if you can find some triangles. I'm going to go and I'm going to circle any that I find. I've found one. That is the only triangle I see right now. I'm going to fill in my table 1 for triangle. All right, let's keep going. Now it wants us to look for rectangles. Go ahead, you go and count and see how many rectangles you can find. I'll give you a second. All right, I'm going to go through and see 2. Here I see 1. I'm just going to do a little check on it, on the drawer. So there's 1. Here I see another 2. That TV's a rectangle, right? 3. This whole shape of the window. 4. That TV stand, the front of it, the flat front of it. 5. Oh, and the door, right? The door, the whole door would be 6. I found 6. I don't know about you. Maybe you found some more. Maybe you found less. Now let's see what's the next one it wants to do. A square. Let's look in our picture. Well, here's 1 window square. 2, 3, 4. I found 4. How many did you find? And then it wants us to look for circles. Let's see. Here I see 1 plane shape, 1 circle. The top of this table is a circle. A plane, just the top is 2. I don't know about this lamp. It looks more sphere shaped to me, more 3D, not as much plane. So I'm going to say I found 2. Whoops. There we go. 2 circles. And lastly, a pentagon. Right now, think to yourself, how many sides does a pentagon have? If you said 5, you got it. Let's see if I can find any shapes in this picture that have 5 sides. Any plane shapes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. I found one that has 5 sides, so that is a pentagon. I'm going to go right in 1. I was only able to find 1. I don't know about you. Maybe you found more. I found 1 pentagon. So let's take a look at our next sheet. It says you can combine and separate plane shapes. Combine smaller shapes to make larger shapes. This is a square, and you can combine 4 squares to form a larger square. That's right. It's 1 bigger square. This is a triangle, and you can combine 6 triangles to form a hexagon. Why do you think it's 6 triangles that make a hexagon? If you said after putting them together you'd have 6 sides, you were right. We know that a hexagon has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sides. All right, let's look and see what it would like us to do. It says draw lines on each figure to show how it's made with these shapes. Triangle, square, rectangle, trapezoid, hexagon, and pentagon. Below they gave us an example how they divided this shape. It looks like this line straight across is what they added in right here. I don't know if you guys see the same, but that's right above the line I'm drawing. Looks like that straight line they drew in. All right. Let's see what we can do. Looking at this first shape, if you're going along with me and doing it as I'm doing it, go ahead and draw in those lines you think you draw in to separate some of those shapes. If you're someone that's done it already and is just reviewing with me, then follow along. All right, I see right here, I'm going to draw in a line. Now I have a square, and then I think I'm going to do one more right here. Oh, now I have 2 squares and a triangle. What did you do? All right, I'm going to go next door now. I'm going to draw a line right down the middle right here. Now I have a square below. And what is that shape above? Yep, that is a pentagon. A pentagon has 5 sides. Now I'm going to hop down over here. And I'm going to draw a line right up here from this diagonal to that corner. Now I have a triangle and a quadrilateral. Oh, not a quadrilateral. What was it? If you said trapezoid, you are right. That is a trapezoid, correct? All right, so we had a triangle and a trapezoid. And then, if we come over here, and I'm going to do a line right down the middle on that one. Now I have a hexagon. Remember, a hexagon has 6 sides. And then I also have another trapezoid with those 4 sides. And then, I'm going to draw 2 lines in on this shape. What ones are you going to do? I'm going to let you go first. All right, I'm going to do a line here, and then I'm going to do a line here. What did you get? I got 2 rectangles and 1 triangle. Now I'm going to go to the 2 bottom shapes. I'm going to do a line right, right here. And one right here. That gives me 1 square and 2 rectangles. Curious to know if anyone did anything different. If you did, let me know. And lastly, on this shape, I'm just going to extend a line right here, and I am left with a square and a triangle. It seems that we found pentagons, we found hexagons, we found trapezoids, we found rectangles, squares, and triangles. All right. I'm going to keep going. Now it's talking about figures. You can make figures by combining different shapes. So when I combine two or more plane shapes, I am left with what is called a figure. So I'm going to say it one more time. When I combine one shape or two shapes, I am left with a figure. All right, let's go and see what we can come up with. Guided learning, what it wants us to do is it wants us to look at this figure right here. Here's the whole figure, and a figure is made up of multiple plane shapes. Different plane shapes too, they don't have to be the same. How many different plane shapes can you find in here? You tell me. So not how many shapes all together, but how many different plane shapes? Well, let's look at it. I see a rectangular prism. I'm going to write that in on my chart below too to get ahead. Rectangular. Oh, not a rectangular prism, but a rectangle. There we go. A rectangular prism is a solid shape. We're working with plane shapes. Here I have a rectangle. And then what else can you find? And here's another one, but I'm only doing different shapes, so I don't need to say it twice. I found one rectangle. Well, two rectangles, but that's one shape, right? The same shape. And then I've found squares. So now we're up to two. I'm going to write that in too, so we'll be ready. Squares. And then a third shape I see in here is what is this one called? It has 6 sides. So it is a hexagon. That has our third different shape we found, our third different plane shape. Then I see a trapezoid. That's our fourth shape. Let's put that in. Oh, and we need to put in hexagon. And lastly, I see a triangle. Oh, not last. There's one more after this one. Our fifth shape I found is a triangle. And lastly, what do you see? That's right, a circle. And that means there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different kinds of shapes. There was more than 6 plane shapes in there, but there was only 6 different kinds. So let's go through, how many rectangles did you find? If you said 2, I agree. How many squares did you find? Go in there and count them. Did you say 3? Me too. What about a trapezoid? How many sides does a trapezoid have? Did you say 4? You're correct, but how many trapezoids are in this figure? 1. That's right. Hexagon? You got it. 2 hexagons. Triangle? 1 triangle. And how many circles? 1 circle. Great job, guys. We found all of those plane shapes. And that is going to wrap up our all our expected work pages for lesson 1, right? Please let me know if you have any questions. I hope this helped get you started. I can't wait to talk to you the rest of the week. All right, 2G. I'll talk to you later.